Welcome to another Anime Kingdom review. See by the title below, yes, this is on episode 5 and 6 of Fate Apocrypha. So yes, this is of course a double episode review, and as always with these double episode reviews, pretty much the reason why is because obviously I missed last week's episode. That is why I still wanted to of course give my thoughts and opinions on that episode, so I decided to put them together to make a double episode review. But as always as well, I understand that some of you may not really care to hear what I thought about last week's episode because, it was last week's. You want to hear what I thought about this current week. So if you do, not want to hear my episode 5 review, do not worry. In the description below, as always, there is going to be a time link that you can go ahead and, just click it and it'll go straight to the episode 6 portion of the review. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and do that now. If not, then hey, awesome. Let's get on to talk about how I felt about episode 5. Honestly, definitely, obviously a step back from all the action that we had in the last episodes and everything. Definitely much more of a build-up episode, had a lot of setup of things going on and some development of our characters, especially considering the fact that, Sieg, that is of course the homunculus' name now, he's pretty much one of our main characters. Him along with Ruler are our two main characters, so it was good to have an episode that kind of just focused mainly on them and their relationship going on into, the future and everything. And I gotta say, Ruler is just honestly the best girl, period. If Astaful was a girl, she'd probably definitely, take the mark as well, but Astaful is indeed a guy, so yeah, not into that kind of stuff, so definitely still love Astaful's character. I love how straight up at the beginning he's literally, even when, Vlad, them, and all of them are in his face, he's saying that, he never did anything wrong, because that's truly what he believed. He saved this, he wanted to help him out, and that's what he did, along with, Siegfried doing the same thing. He sacrificed himself because he wanted to do that for Sieg. So overall, I love the beginning part. I love how at first everyone's literally like pissed off at him. Vlad's pissed off. Vlad's master, I forget his name, is pissed off. You have freaking Astaful's master. Holy crap. She was pissed. She was literally just like looked like she was just about to just like literally tear Astaful apart. Even when, the whole torture, I guess, she was doing to him, stabbing him in the hands and everything, Astaful still acts like it's like ow, 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 like it's kind of just playful and everything. Like, sure, it does hurt, but it's not killing him, because Astaful knows, it ain't gonna be that bad. It's pretty much just a slap on the wrist. That's practically what the punishment is going to be, and Vlad even sees that you can't punish someone who is not gonna repent, that's not gonna feel sorry for what they did, because I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep punishing them? They still believe, no matter what, that what they did is, correct, what they did is right. So he just decides, the next day Astaful is free, pretty much. And I'm over here just laughing because honestly, Astaful, he's a character that literally just gives no, has no care in the world, where literally if that's what he wants to do, he's going to go ahead and do it, even with his teammate betraying his teammates, and even with, people like Vlad who could probably kill him pretty damn fast, along with everyone else that was there as well. They could even had to use the command seals if they really had to, but of course, the whole thing was obviously, I keep forgetting his name, but the caster, of course, wants Sieg, obviously, because he wants to use him as the core for his huge golem thing, to which, of course, Ruler steps up and says, no, that's not going to happen, starts trying to use the rules and everything, and then, of course, they start saying, no, he's a tool. We made him before the war even started, but, of course, obviously, it's different because Sieg actually wanted to live. He actually had a, preservation for his own life. Unlike the way they were saying, is pretty much that all the homunculus don't care. They're just literally mindless beings there to fight. And obviously, something different happened with Sieg, and that's why, Ruler is going to stand. That along with, of course, the vow that she made, of course, for what Siegfried had said and everything. So Ruler stands up, swings her spear around with the flag on and everything. Vlad looks at it in disdain, obviously, and notices who, of course, Ruler actually is. and of course ends up letting Ruler go. And at first I was like, man, are they gonna have to fight Ruler? Are they gonna try and do that? But of course they don't know how strong Ruler really is, what Ruler's noble phantasm is, because normally the Ruler class is supposed to be super strong. And it makes sense, obviously, that you would have the judge of the whole Holy Grail War would be really strong, because that person has to be able to handle stopping certain things from happening. So if the Ruler class is not strong, then obviously they could go ahead and just kill her. Obviously we didn't really get to see how strong she really is, because no one has really tried to challenge her except of course Karna, which of course that ended up not having a fight there, because Siegfried ends up pretty much fighting him in that moment and everything. So we still don't really know how strong Ruler really is. But overall, it was a pretty interesting beginning part. I really enjoyed the interactions that happened in that part. And of course, in the end, Sieg and Ruler go off on their own. Most of this episode is, of course, focused on them and their kind of relationship and development between them. I really honestly ship them at the moment. I'm not going to lie. Ruler is just a goddess, plain and simple, I have to say. She's has these moments where she just like they literally make these moments just for her to just look plain beautiful. And honestly, I'm over here just like, man, best girl, literally best girl, period. There's no doubt about it in my mind. But of course, other than the fact that they had all those kind of things, they gave of course an explanation on what how Joan of Arc, how Ruler of course came to be. Obviously she doesn't have a normal body, she ends up possessing a girl, but of course the girl is safe. If the damage comes, it won't be to her, but it's gonna be a trip when she finds out. Like I don't think she's gonna go back to like completely back to her home and everything when this is all over. It's gonna be over and she's gonna disappear, and then she's gonna be like, where the hell am I, what's going on, kind of thing, but yeah, had all that kind of stuff. Had the whole thing with, of course, Sieg and his kind of searching for what his life is for now. Because, this whole time, he's still kind of down in the dumps. He still kind of doesn't know why he should be living and everything. There's the whole thing that maybe a chance that he'll go back to save all his, the other homunculuses as well. Even if they say, they won't leave and everything. But there's a lot of, things going on between them. A lot of development going on between their characters. Especially considering the fact that, of course, Joan of Arc, Ruler wants to, of course, save, Sieg, let him have a peaceful life, but obviously her premonition thing that someone did tell me about that is a power of hers, pretty much tells that he's going to have to fight, he's going to be in a battle. And I mean, you can already assume that, considering that he has the heart of Sieg. I'm not too sure how, Siegfried, I'm not too sure how he, of course, transforms into Siegfried, because obviously that happens somewhere along the way, as we saw at the beginning of the first episode, that there was a battle between Mordred and Siegfried. The only possible reason I can think of is of course, Sieg. How does he transform into Siegfried? I'm not too sure. I don't really understand that fully too much. Probably will be explained later on, obviously. But it would make sense, especially considering when Mordred called him in that part in the first episode a fake, saber. He's not real. He's not really the saber class. He's a fake. He transforms into him somehow, and that's how it is. So it makes a lot of sense, especially considering the fact that I was wondering where he was if that battle's in the future. You see Ruler fighting something, but you don't see Sieg. So it makes a lot of sense that he, I guess, somehow, because he has the heart of Siegfried in him, he is able to, I guess, transform into Siegfried. And he also has a sword, which is, of course, Ryder's sword. I'm not too sure how that's going to work, because we did see in the beginning of episode 1 that he also had, Siegfried's weapon as well. So not too sure on the specifics on everything on how that is going on, but it definitely gives a lot to think about. I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely an interesting episode to see all the development for his character, showing and pushing him towards being obviously our main character. Him and Ruler are the main characters of the show. So I'm glad that they took a step back and kind of gave us more information and more build up for their characters overall. I know there's going to be some people that think it's boring and didn't think that this episode was necessary. There's always going to be those kind of people that think it's action, 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 or even if it's not about the action, they may think that it's not necessary to show those parts. But honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was really important to focus on the development for those two characters, considering, yes, they are the main characters, and I would like to see more of them, obviously, And of course, after that, the other two big things that happened in this episode was one being Jack the Ripper. I was wondering what was going on with Jack the Ripper when she was going to show up. We saw her, of course, but it turns out that the master that was supposed to be for Jack the Ripper is actually dead. and Jack is actually with some other woman, and I gotta say, they are creepy. That's a creepy combination going on there, the mother and daughter thing. I mean, maybe if it wasn't such a you know what's going on kind of thing, it would be, oh, that's kind of cute, it's a mother daughter kind of thing, you know. But just the whole overall feeling of when they were showing them, it just gave me like the creeps. Like I was like, oh man, it's gonna be pretty crazy when, obviously, as you saw too, everyone is gonna be clashing going to that town. So gonna get another crazy action-packed episodes coming soon, with of course the red faction and the black faction, you know, joining up as well to fight each other. So we'll have to see how will Jack the Ripper. I guess Jack the Ripper is kind of the wild card character in the show, the kind of the character that's not on either side. But I guess you can kind of say that's also with the other main importance of this episode, which is the very ending with Kotomine looking like he's taking control of all the servants. I was wondering why we never got to see any of the servants, you know, masters. We only got to see Kotomine. And it makes sense that it seems that this Kotomine, Shido, is actually, I guess he did something that he's pretty much taken over as their masters. He's taking the master's command seals, and that's how everything is going on. I'm not too sure, you know, the exact specifics on how he did it, but honestly, I knew from the start he was going to be something bad, and it looks like, yeah, he's taking control of all of the servants, and he has some plan that he wants to take out both fractions and use the Grail for his own selfish greed. I don't know what his wish is, of course, but that's probably what's going on here. And I mean, this show has definitely showed me that it doesn't matter what time era, it doesn't matter which Fate show we're watching, never trust the Kotomine. That's pretty much how it is, honestly. Like I said before, I still don't know the connection between them, but honestly, a pretty damn, you know, it's just there's some type of connection between them, that name and just them. It's happened twice already with two different people, and they both pretty much are not to be trusted at all. So yeah, I can't wait to see more information on him. I can't wait to see more information on, you know, our two main characters, more development and everything. And of course, I mean, I always love to see action, and that's probably what we're going to be getting in these next couple episodes as well. So definitely can't wait for that. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about this part of the episode, episode 5. So I'm going to have a little cut here. We'll go on to the episode 6 portion of the review. So yeah, that's all I got to say, guys. So in 3, 2, 1. And here we are at the episode 6 portion of the review. I mean, I knew it was going to have some crazy action, considering the fact that, you know, the last episode showed that they were going to be going to the town where Jack the Ripper is. And I was super excited to see how this would happen, considering, like I said, Jack the Ripper is kind of a wild card, honestly. It's going to be like, you know, it's not on either side. She's not on either side. Her and her mother, I don't know who this lady is. Obviously, she wants to kill both the Meech Association and, of course, the other side as well. So it's always cool to see when there's a character that is not on either side. It's just literally rampaging on both sides, and it's always cool to see how, you know, both sides end up trying to solve this, you know, conflict and everything, and it ends up usually being with more conflict. And that is, of course, what we saw with Chiron going up against Mordred, and Shishigo going up against I forget what her name is. Let's just say Dr. Octopus, because come on, what the hell? We knew she was in, you know, a wheelchair and everything. Like, literally, I did not expect her, when she jumped off, I was like, what is she doing? All of a sudden, freaking robot arms comes out from her back. And I'm like, holy crap, she's literally pretty much Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man. What the hell is going on here? Things got machine guns, things like could block bullets and everything, which I gotta say, not only was that weird, honestly, but Shishigo's, like, I know he's a necromancer, but his weaponry is just so freaking weird. There was a heart grenade. I didn't notice at first, but the shotgun shells that he was shooting, the shotgun shots, were fucking thumbs. Like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? But overall, it was a pretty awesome episode, not just with the action at the end, but we also got some pretty interesting stuff at the very beginning, which honestly, I would say is my favorite part of the episode, just because as a Fate Stay Night fan, you know, I've already seen Arthuria, one of my favorite characters, and honestly, it was pretty damn cool to see her and Mordred in, you know, obviously Mordred's past and everything being shown. And it was cool to see, you know, the history and everything of how Mordred ends up hating King Arthur, and overall, like, even had like an action part. It was small, obviously. It just had her rushing at King Arthur, or Arthuria, obviously, sword flying out of her hand, Excalibur flying out of her hand, and of course being able to see her other weapon, which a lot of people don't know of, which I saw in Fate, Fate Go or Fate Grand Order, is that she can also be a lancer, because she does have a lance, as you saw in that, which is pretty badass. Just literally stabbed straight through Mordred, killing her. But honestly, overall, it was pretty cool to see all of the backstory for Mordred in there as well, considering, you know, we haven't really got much story out of the Red Faction side. It's either been the Black Faction, or obviously in the last episode, a lot of kind of stuff with Ruler and Sieg. That was pretty much all we got. We really have not seen much of the Red Faction side, and obviously most of it is obviously, you know, Kotomi and Eishido, and of course his bunch of servants that he has under his control, since he took all of them under his control from the Masters. But the other side, of course, was Shishigo along with Mordred, and it's interesting to finally see more of Mordred's past and actually implement it in there, especially considering that it's her, you know, her past and everything is being put into his dreams. So he's pretty much seen everything that happened to her. He's not saying it yet, but obviously he saw what happened in Mordred's past, why she acts the way she does, and all that kind of stuff. And it's probably going to come up somewhere in the future where he brings it up, and I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they'll have a fight or something along those lines. I'm not too sure, you know. But yeah, overall, after that part, there was the whole part with, obviously, Astolfo's master is literally pissed. She's out of her mind at this moment. She wants to just find Sieg and just kill him, murder him, destroy him, then use her command seals and pretty much make Astolfo pay for, you know, what she did from picking him over her. And I'm over here like, holy shit. Yeah, she's a yandere, Astolfo, and you just messed up big time there. That's going to be interesting to see later on how that conflicts with them being master and servant, obviously, when they have to fight the Red Faction side. It's kind of weird because when I first saw this anime, I expected, you know, it's this huge Holy Grail war with 7 versus 7, but instead it's more of conflict in between their ranks, and then every so often they have against each other as well. But it's a lot more, you know, like Ruler says, it's not a normal war. There's something, you know, wrong with this Holy Grail war, and you're seeing it firsthand with everything going on. Spartacus looks like, they also mentioned that as well, that they took him, which means they might somehow, I don't know, change him to their side. So that's, at least I'm happy for that, for the fact that I want to see more Spartacus. I felt that if he really died, that honestly kind of sucks, because we didn't really get to see much of him. So hopefully we do see them, I don't know, he somehow gets changed to their side and we get to see him go up against the Red Faction side. I'm not too sure, you know, but overall that was pretty cool. There's a whole thing, obviously, I forgot to mention the last episode that, you know, Siegfried's master, I was literally laughing at him. He feels like shit. He feels like, I didn't deserve this. Like, yeah, you do. You're an ass, and good for you, honestly. And it looks like it's not going to get any better, as it looks like they're going to be using him for the core for Caster's, his golem. So that sucks for him, and I'm guessing, I'm not too sure, is he gonna maybe like have still, you know, his mind in there as well, because maybe that's why we see at the very beginning of the first episode he's attacking Ruler, and maybe he's mad at her for what pretty much she let happen, you know, the homunculus go, let Sieg go and everything, and that transpires to what's happening in that first episode. If so, that'll be pretty interesting battle to see if he really does still have his, you know, his memories and everything, even though I still do hate his character. So overall, I just want him to die, honestly. But yeah, overall, that part was cool. After that, we got to see a little bit more of Jack the Ripper. Looks like Jack the Ripper is on a huge killing spree, and I'm guessing I'm not too sure if it was fully to do that, because I don't really know the plan of her and her mother. Overall, it seemed like they were gonna go from one city to the next city, and they're just killing people on the way there. Like, I don't know, I don't really know what's going on. It obviously showed that when the Mage Association sent some mages in, that Jack the Ripper ended up killing all of them, and then it looks like they were gonna leave, but of course she wanted to go ahead and also kill Shishigo, which of course he wanted that to happen. He wanted her to come. But when the whole, I'm guessing Jack the Ripper has that, one of her abilities is like a poison mist kind of thing. But when they got out of the poison mist, and he's like, oh, thank goodness. I thought he was gonna know, but if it wasn't for Mordred, he would have been killed straight up right there, as Jack the Ripper just came out of nowhere, just slashed at him. Of course, Mordred, and you see Mordred and Jack the Ripper fight a little bit. Obviously, Jack the Ripper, you know, an assassin versus a saber. a saber class, you normally, it's normally the saber class is going to win. It's the strongest class. Assassin is one of the weakest class if it's going head to head, just like a normal fight like this. But also she's just toying with her and everything, and it comes to the point where she finally starts to use her weapon to get rid of all the mist, and it looked like, holy shit, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna take out Jack the Ripper? Of course, here comes Chiron, shoots an arrow between them, hurts, of course, doesn't hurt Mordred, but hurts Jack the Ripper, making Jack the Ripper retreat. And then, of course, we get on the whole fight with, Jack the Ripper going up, not Jack the Ripper, sorry, Mordred going up against Chiron, which Chiron's pretty much a badass, I gotta say. This Mordred is a saber class, he's an archer class, and he literally like took that one blow to the shoulder and just flipped over and slammed her to the ground. I'm like, holy shit, Chiron, you're pretty badass, I gotta say. A lot more badass in close combat than I thought you were gonna be. I thought it was just gonna be, I mean, if you've watched the other Fate, Stay Night and everything, the archer class isn't what you normally expect, honestly. So I guess it shouldn't be too much of a surprise from how we saw in this one either. I'm just waiting for the moment when he shows his, his centaur half, his horse half, because he's a centaur, that's what he's supposed to be, but he's hiding it or something. I'm not too sure. If like someone were to like somehow get behind him, would they feel his, his other half part, or is that just not there? It's kind of confusing me on that part, I'm not gonna lie. But that fight was cool. The whole fight with Dr. Octopus going up against Shishigo was pretty cool as well. Like I said, definitely weird with like literally robot arms Dr. Octopus, and then Shishigo and his weird ass weaponry with heart grenades and thumb shotgun shells going out and everything. But nonetheless, it was pretty badass to see Shishigo think on his his feet, and literally it looks like he's going to kill her. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen. I'm guessing that Chiron's probably going to interrupt and they're going to flee, thus making that no one dies. That's probably what's going to happen. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. But yeah, overall, nonetheless, pretty awesome episode. Got to see a little bit of Mordred. Got to see what, the Red Faction side is thinking as well. With it also did show Kotamine and his plans on everything, some of his plans on everything. We got to see a little bit of the Black Faction side and what they're doing with Spartacus, what they're doing with Astolfo, and of course what they plan to do with Siegfried's Golem. And then of course, like I said, the encounter with Jack the Ripper, and then of course the fight between Chiron, Mordred, and Shishigo, and I'm just going to keep calling her Dr. Octopus because I forget her name, honestly. But yeah, overall, pretty awesome episode. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next one. Will we get more Ruler and Sieg? Or will it be focusing still yet more on Mordred and Shishigo along with Jack the Ripper and stuff? Who knows? Just gotta wait to see for the next week's episode. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Is there anything missing you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, feel like, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. As always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. How do you feel about both of these episodes? Good, bad? Feel free to comment below. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. So till next time, see ya.